Hello everybody, Matthew here, your host with Meb Pod Ep4. This is going to be a full episode. Looking forward to everything that happened this past week. Gonna go over a few things. No fear. This is the grind. I heard a quote once. It said, I believe it was Mark Twain said, the secret to getting ahead is to getting started. And that's what we're doing here. We're getting started with this each week. We're getting better and better. I am doing this kind of self-created, so kind of still a work in progress. But like I said, we're gonna get started with this. Like I said, we've got a full episode. Of course, we're gonna do our hole-in-one and our double bogey. We're gonna talk a little bit about my golf tour of the United States. We've got a little Week 9 NFL recap. We've got, of course, some World Series recap. Got a little college basketball. Got a little bit of NBA, not too much. We've got the parlays, of course. We've got our little foreplay, good golf charity tournament that happened in Palm Beach yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, we're going to mention a little bit about my YouTube channel and my streaming service with my little video game thing that I'm getting back into. With that being said, and I guess we're going to touch up a little bit on our KAMALA versus Trump. That is tomorrow. It's the big day, election day here in the United States. Not going to touch too much on it, but it's got to be talked about, I guess, a little bit. I'm not going to mention pro-Kamala, pro-Trump, whatever, their views are on, whatever their takes are on the border, control or whatever. I'm not going to really get into much of that, but I did want to mention it at least because it is a big part of this country, beautiful country that we live in, that I live in. I don't know, maybe I have some listeners out there in Europe or something. That would be kind of cool, but I've yet to see it. We'll get out there though. Eventually, you got to keep moving forward. So we're just going to be started in Florida. We've already reached out all the way to Missouri and Illinois. And I think I even got a listener in Texas somewhere for some reason. I think I found. So I've got like 7 states marked off that I don't even think I really know anyone in. But I probably know someone in it, but I don't think they would listen to this. But either way, I'm moving forward with this. So it's the only secret. It's the secret to get ahead. It's just to get started. So let's get started with this. Hole-in-one and the double bogey. I like to start with the double bogey first because I like to end on something positive. Although both of these are somewhat positive, but my double bogey today is I wasn't able to get out and play golf today. The weather kind of was a little rough down here in South Florida. Very cloudy, rainy. Just wasn't able to get out and play. Probably could have gone to hit balls, but decided not to. Whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not the end of the world. I'm still here. Happy to be here doing this. It's always fun to get on here and just start rambling and probably no one listening, but it is fun. But to move forward with that. And then of course, probably the hard part about the double bogey is the tougher part. I also have been slacking with my going to the gym routine. I did get out, I think, once this week, but that is not the goal I set for myself, and I need to get better. But the positive note out of that is I recognized it. I am going to do something about it, and I'm going to continue going back to the gym. I'm going to go back tonight after I'm done recording this. So it is something positive that came out of the double bogey is that at least I recognized it. Now it passed me probably even probably 6 months ago. Me would have said, oh well, I'll just do it tomorrow, or oh well, I'm not getting any bigger or stronger or faster or whatever. It's not doing anything. What's the point? I would poor me, woe me. What I need, at least I recognize that I know I need to do better, and as long as I do better than I did yesterday, that's kind of the way I'm trying to live, and just kind of get better each and every day. So I will be going back tonight. I have noticed a little bit that the gym might not be for everyone, or even for me for that matter, but my ball striking in golf is my balls are going much further from what I've heard and noticed. Now, obviously, strength isn't everything in golf. Your tempo, your composure, it's a big mental game. So, working on my mental state as well by doing things I love doing, going to the gym, it definitely helps, get you out of your mind and your head, and definitely helps just that mental part of the game. Going to work sometimes does, and although going to work sometimes might make me a little crazy sometimes, but it does get me out of my head from being, alone, and it is tough, but doing things like the podcast and going to the gym and playing golf and doing these like traveling things and the YouTube channel content and even like video games and stuff, getting out of my head is definitely a humongous thing. I just like lisp. Humongous thing for my mental health, and so I am getting better at learning how to handle some pressure and anxieties and some self-loathing much better. I'm excited to keep moving forward with it. Sky is the limit with this thing, and just gonna keep going. So yeah, that's kind of my double bogey, my little tweak on that. It was a tough week for me with the gym and the golf thing, but of course, like I said, I'm gonna get back out there tonight. Back to the gym, and then my hole-in-one though. I'm not even really sure what it is yet. I'm excited though. I've learned some new things with the editing and audio, video part of the content creating world. So I think within the next week to month, some good things are going to be coming out of the podcast and the Instagram content creating thing. Not really sure what it is yet, or even what it's going to look like, but I am getting better at it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out in the next week or two. So keep an eye out to all the listeners and the viewers, and to what the next few weeks might bring. It's going to be exciting. So, like I said, that is my hole-in-one. Not really even sure what it is yet, so I can't even really say what it is, because I don't know exactly what it is, but looking forward to what it has, what the future has to bring for me. So why is it doing that? Whatever. I'll move on from that. So to move forward with the from the double bogey and the hole-in-one, we're going to talk a little bit about my golf tour in the United States. So obviously, Missouri, Illinois, checked off last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago. Got Massachusetts and New Hampshire, so that's 4. I've got Florida and Nevada, that's 6. I've got 6 of the 50 states. I've got 44 more to go. I've got a plan, or I've already got my plans for 2025's trips, possibly one more in 2025. Not sure yet, though. It's not official. None of them are official, but they're official up here. So in March, my plan is to go to North Carolina and play at Pinehurst. We want to meet one of my top 5 bucket list courses to play here in the United States. Obviously, just from the people who have played at Pinehurst, or just watching it on TV when the professional PGA guys play it for the US Open, or whenever they play it. It just looks like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful course to play. Obviously very tough. Not looking forward to losing too many balls, but I'm probably not going to be the worst one to ever play the course too. But it'll definitely be a fun, interesting trip. So I can mark off state number 7 in North Carolina. So if anyone's played at Pinehurst or has any tips or anything to kind of move forward with that process, shoot me a DM at MEB Golf on Instagram, or Matthew__Brennan on Instagram as well. Either one of my accounts. I'll gladly take some feedback about Pinehurst. And let's see. So that's kind of my plan for state number 7. State number 8 is going to be probably somewhere in the middle of summer. I'm going to be flying out to San Diego, playing Torrey Pines. I'm going to make that trip real fun one, I think. Torrey Pines, obviously beautiful course. San Diego PGA course. It's going to be I think one of my favorite trips, just because it's going to be revolved around some baseball. Obviously, baseball is my favorite sport. Biggest followed sport for me. I kind of want to make it out to San Diego, catch a Padres game while I'm down there, play Torrey Pines, and then after that, drive up to Los Angeles, and play over at I don't know where I'm going to play it exactly yet, but drive up to Los Angeles, catch a Dodgers, catch an Angels game. Obviously, I'll have to do some research and when the schedules come out for Major League Baseball, and try to catch 3 games, maybe play 2 or 3 courses in California, so that'll knock state number 8 off. But it'll be a whole, probably maybe a week trip, week and a half, depending on when, how long I'm staying, depending on the baseball schedule works. So we'll figure that out in future. Matthew will figure that one out. I'm not quoting How I Met Your Mother, but it will be legendary. That'll be a fun trip. I'm looking forward to all that California has to offer. I know I really didn't care for Los Angeles the last time, but again, I was doing all things that maybe I didn't really care for. I was a completely different person when I was there last, and I think I might appreciate some of the things out there a little more this time. So that's the plan for the summer golf trip. So there'll be at least 2 states off the 50. Obviously, that's only knocking 2 states off every year. That's not going to cut it. By the time I'm whatever age, it'll be a long time. There is no date set for all this. Who knows, by the time I'm 40, 50 years old, I might be, doing something else in my life where I'm traveling, and it's easier to reach this goal. But for today, this is how I'm doing it, and we'll see in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years what I'm be doing, and I'm gonna make this possible. Regardless, I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm not gonna let anything stop me from doing it. So now I might, like I said, I might try to have another one planned for 2025, but that is my for sure 2025 courses and plans for the golf tour of the United States. I might have another plan. I just keep scrolling through TikTok and Instagram, and the algorithm for my thing is just all beautiful golf courses, and Hawaii just keeps popping up. The courses look like you're playing in like a Jurassic Park course. Like there's volcanoes and dinosaurs. I know it's where they shot Jurassic Park, the movie. So it obviously, I'm sure social media can give it a little fluff to make it look a little prettier than it really is. But I'm sure Hawaii might be just one of the prettiest things and I have never been to Hawaii, and I know I've only heard good things. My brother lived down there for a little while. He said he loved it. He played a bunch of courses. So that also might be of the 2025. I want to get one done in the winter, and that might be a good opportunity to go play in the winter time. So that might knock off 3 states in 2025. So it might just, the states that I think will be tough will be like the Idahos and the North Dakotas, South Dakotas, and those kind of places, just because there will be a lot of driving. But it'll be a fun, it's a beautiful part of the country that, a lot of people don't get the chance to see because there, there's not much else going on up there. That people like to go to the city life and the whatever, but I'm excited to see what this, at least these 3 trips that I haven't planned have in mind for me. Now, if there is any listeners or followers or subscribers or whatever on Instagram that sound interested in wanting to maybe join a Pinehurst or a California trip or a Hawaii trip, and you want to join, direct message me on MEB Golf or Matthew__Brennan at 71, or not at 71, on Instagram. That would be, great. As much as I love getting out there playing by myself or with randoms, it's, obviously great to have some company too. So if you want to get out there, I'm free to do whatever. You can obviously join me. Let me know. You don't have to pay for the whole trip tonight. You can save a couple of dollars each day or month or week or however you want to budget yourself, and we'll kind of get in touch and we'll plan. Whoever it is, I don't care if you're a listener in Chicago or Seattle or Missouri or Florida or Texas or wherever you're listening from. We'll meet up and I'll get a whole itinerary set for us, and we'll just go and do it. It'll be a fun trip. I want to do what the guys from Barstool and Good do with their trips. They plan out these things and just go and do things. And the more trips we plan and broadcast them on my YouTube channel and my podcast and my Instagram, the more attention we'll get, and we'll be able to go and do other places and get deals from, and meet new people and more people. And that's the plan with this, is to build that network of golfers who want to get out there and see other courses than their local public courses. I played it back home. I played at the same course once a month for how many years of my life, and I was like, I thought golf was that was it, and then I get down here to Florida, and there's South Florida, there's 1,000 courses down here, and then watching the PGA, the more I got into golf, I realized how beautiful some of these courses are, and I want to check them out. That's what I want to do. I want to play golf. Like, I'm not obviously trying to make $1 million off of it like the guys that play on the tour, but like, I think it's, to me personally, the most beautiful thing is checking out new courses and playing each course and getting better at everything I do, or better at golf every single time. Now, I'm not going out there shooting par, but I'm also not out there shooting 150, 200, so, but I have a great time doing it. So, like I said, any listeners, followers want to join or want to try to plan a trip to one of these places, let me know. I'll create an itinerary for us. We'll get something started. So we'll start saving money, and we'll go next spring out to Pinehurst, or next summer out to Torrey Pines and up to Los Angeles, or maybe in the October or November of next year we'll go head out to Hawaii and go play. So you just let me know and we'll get out there and play. So to finish that's kind of my little take on my golf tour in the United States. I'm going to move a little forward with my little World Series recap. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers on winning the 2024 World Series. Dave Roberts, I'm very happy for you that you finally got your parade that you've been wishing for. When you won it in 2020, you weren't allowed a parade because of some CDC COVID guidelines. That was unfortunate for you guys, but you finally got one. I was very happy to see Freddie Freeman win the World Series MVP. I know he's had a tough year with this child having that strange disease or whatever it was, that his poor kid had to learn how to walk again. So it's been a tough year for him, but there's nothing better than to get him out there winning a World Series MVP. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Super happy for the man. Looking forward to what he has to bring to us in the next 2025 season. Hopefully he doesn't play too strong against my Cardinals, but he's obviously an asset to the league. Very good face for the league, always stays out of trouble, just a good overall person, family man. It's a nice person to have in the league, that's for sure. Shohei Ohtani, of course, wins this World Series. Probably MVP this year as a DH. Might even, and then gonna get back into pitching next year. Man, the guy is just a legend of the game already, and he's only been in the league I don't even know how many years, a couple of years now, and the guy's puts up a 50-50 season, puts up numbers, compares to Babe Ruth, and he's better than Babe Ruth. He's the best we've ever seen. I was able to watch him play out there at the Winter Classic, that's hockey, the World Baseball Classic down here in Miami, in the championship game against the United States, Japan versus USA. It was one of the coolest things baseball related I've ever been to. Obviously rooting for United States against Japan. Full Marlins Park, Lone Depot Park, whatever they call it now. So it's probably is the craziest I've ever seen Lone Depot Park, that's for sure, because Marlins games can't pull any fans in, which is kind of sad. But when you see at the final at bat of the World Baseball Classic be Shohei Ohtani on the mound against Mike Trout, and Shohei got the best of him and struck him out. That was one of the coolest things to be able to see. Not many people, only I don't know however many thousand people got to see that live and in person. I was one of them, so I'm definitely blessed to say I was able to see that one. Obviously, he's pitched against some sense, he's played against some sense with the Dodgers, but it was, it was his first time ever doing it, and Shohei got the best of him. So, but I was happy to see him win one, him and his old dog. But anyways, that's kind of like my little take on the World Series. Again, congrats to the Dodgers on your 2024 World Series championship. Best of luck to the Yankees next year. I know all you Yankee fans are not too happy. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. I gotta figure that out. But will be a good season here next year for the Cardinals. Hopefully, we can get through, make some moves, and have a better season. But we'll see. But I'm gonna move forward from baseball. I'm gonna go into my Week 9 NFL recap. Of course, it is Monday, November 4th. The Chiefs are playing the Buccaneers right now. It is 17-10 Bucks in the third quarter. End of the third quarter. Chiefs are still undefeated, so I know you Dolphins fans right there are shaking like you guys want to be the only team to be left undefeated. But Chiefs are still grinding out there. Baker Mayfield's putting up a little day for himself, which is, happy to see him play well. But anyways, we'll get to a little NFL recap. We've got the Dolphins get bounced by the Bills with the last second field goal. Again, the Dolphins fans are probably not too happy with this, but what can they do? They're just not a better team than the Bills. Sorry, Dolphins fans. I know you all are heartbroken after Tua's injury, but he's back now, so hopefully you can jump back on the bandwagon. We got Saquon Barkley and the Eagles take down the Jags. I don't know if anyone got to catch it. I did not because I was stuck at work, but I did watch the highlights that Saquon Barkley hurdling over the Jags defender, running backwards. I don't want to say it surprises me because Saquon can do anything, but that was one of the craziest NFL plays I've seen in a long time. Literally hurdling someone backwards. I mean, the guy's got tree trunks for legs, so I mean, like I said, it doesn't surprise me, but it is cool to see what that guy can do every time he touches the ball. Devontae Smith also had a wonderful touchdown in the end zone late in the game. One of the probably top catches nominees of the year. We had a tight one in the Rams-Seahawks game. Rams scored overtime touchdown. I want to say Anderson, one-handed catch in the end zone. Another top 10 play of the year probably for the Rams. They took another win for them. Commanders move on to 7-2. Good for the Commanders. It's nice to see them finally being competitive. Poor Cowboys lose again to the Falcons. I know there's America's team or whatever they are, but they are just rough to watch. They're not. I know Dak Prescott's hurt now and whatever. That's going to be their excuse. Is if Dak Prescott was healthy, they'd be in competition with these teams, but it's not feeling that way, that they're just not going to be doing much this year. So poor Cowboys fans. Panthers get their second win of the year, so good for the Panthers against the Saints. But following that game, Saints unfortunately fire head coach Dennis Allen after starting the season 2-0. Following those 2-0 start, they they lost 7 straight. Who would have thought that after the Saints 2-0 start, putting up however many points they were each and every week. They were putting up like 50 points a game for those first 2 games, and offense looked unstoppable. But that's the hard part of being an NFL coach in the business. You start losing, you're not going to keep your job for much longer. So sad to see him go. So the Saints are ran by an interim head coach now. Hopefully they can step up what they're doing and maybe start playing a little better for the city of New Orleans. But yeah, that's kind of, like I said, a little bit of NFL updates on Week 9. Obviously, what else we got? We got some Christian McCaffrey is back for the 49ers this week. So, touchdown, Chiefs tied it up. Christian McCaffrey is going to be back for the 49ers this week. So the Buccaneers got another tough one next week against the 49ers with a returning Christian McCaffrey, who led the 49ers in rushing last year and to the Super Bowl. So that's 2 weeks in a row where this the Buccaneers have Super Bowl games, Super Bowl teams in against them. I can't talk right now. So that's kind of my NFL take, but we do got a little more, little Jason Kelce news. I don't know if anyone saw Jason Kelce. To me, my vision, is an outstanding human being, outstanding citizen. Member of New Heights podcast, was invited to College Game Day from Pat McAfee, to do at Penn State to do a kick on, of course, the little charity thing they do on College Game Day each week. Jason Kelce was judging kickers for how easy their job is and how pointless it is to have kickers in the league and da-da-da. Of course, Pat McAfee was a kicker and punter. And he says, it's put your money where your mouth is. So he invited him on the College Game Day. He went up there and he goes, I bet you can't kick a field goal. And obviously, if you kick it in, you get money towards charity. And it ended up being kind of comical, actually, because Kelce obviously is a trip to listen to, but he ended up going on College Game Day and he muffed like 2 kicks wide left to the post. Wasn't able to contribute any money to charity, but I'm sure there's some money that went to some charity, knowing Jason Kelce and Pat McAfee, just 2 great guys in the football world. But anyways, he, I believe after College Game Day, was headed to the stadium to go to the Penn State Ohio State game. Was getting chirped by a Penn State fan. It was all recorded, sent to TMZ, TMZ got to it and said, like, hey, whatever. He was chirping about how Travis Kelce's a douchebag and this and that, chirping his name, whatever he was saying, some bunch of real nasty slurs towards towards Travis and his family, and Jason and his family, and Jason, obviously being an outstanding citizen, opposite actually. He was getting fed up with it. He wanted to protect his brother and his family, and took actions to his own hands, and unfortunately probably mishandled the situation. Grabbed the Penn State fan's phone, smashed it on the concrete, and got up in his face and said, well, who's the douchebag now? Who's the now? Why are don't you wait? Who's the It's basically scared the living hell out of this kid, probably because this guy is a 6'4", 6'5" Hall of Fame center who still can play the game today against a drunk college student who's just talking shit and doesn't know anything. He's just trying to get a little bit of money or clout or fame or his little 10 seconds of fame or whatever it was. And that honestly frustrates me. So shame on the Penn State fan. Obviously, that he does not represent the whole university or Penn State University. But it wasn't an unfortunate event that TMZ had to kind of chime in on this, and it's not like he did anything too wrong. Yes, he has handled the situation like we all have in our lives. I have done so many wrongs in my life, and unfortunately have paid the price for a lot of them. And now Jason Kelce, I know he did come in and apologize and said, hey, I apologize. This was my mistake. I reacted wrongly. Wish I would have handled the situation a little better, but at the same time, he's such an outstanding citizen, an outstanding man, and family, focused, and wants the best for his daughters and his wife and Travis and his mom and his dad, and he just reacted wrong, and he probably won't ever let that happen to again. I am happy to see that he's on Monday Night Football doing the halftime with Chiefs in the Buccaneers game. I hope that he can move forward from it. I'm sure he feels bad for it, but at the same time, the kid needs to keep his mouth shut. And hopefully he learned, the kid that Jason Kelce broke his phone, I hope he learned his lesson too. You don't talk crap to someone who won, it's like to anyone for that matter, but one that's 3 times your size, and it's just a sad little event that happened over there. It could have been a lot worse. It could have ended a lot worse for the kid and Jason, but I'm glad that everything kind of got handled and he apologized for his actions, and hoping Jason can move forward with this. I'm sure Jason and Travis will probably talk about it on this week's episode of New Heights. I'm looking forward to it. It is one of my favorite podcasts, so shout out to the guys at the 92 percenters and the fans. So hopefully maybe I can get some of those 92 percenters, borrow some of them from you and move them over here to the Meb Pod. But anyways, to move forward from the NFL news, we did get a little bit of college basketball started today. Right now, beginning of the season, first game's tonight. I, again, like every other college basketball season, have no knowledge about who is good or bad or what. Obviously, I know there's like the blue bloods, like the Kansas, the Kentuckys, the North Carolinas, the whatever, all these teams that are always good every year. But I'm not like really knowledgeable on what players are good or whatever, but I do like to find the Cinderella teams and the Cinderella players coming out of nowhere so I can look forward to seeing them in March or whatever. But as of now, top 25 came out. Here's your top 10. Obviously, you're going to have Kansas at number 1 to preseason rankings. You've got Alabama at 2, which kind of surprises me. Obviously, I'm sure Roll Tide Willie's probably pretty happy about that. I know he's a football follower, but I'm sure he's still going to be rooting for Alabama in the basketball game. Because he doesn't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Roll Tide. And so yeah, that kind of puts Alabama at number 2. UConn at number 3, another powerhouse basketball school. Houston at 4. Again, I don't know how well they are, who they got, what freshmen incoming, whatever, but I know they always seem to blow it and knock themselves out of the top 25 early. Iowa State at 5. That's happy. Good to see a Midwestern team in there. Gonzaga all the way up there in Washington in the top 10. They're always a pretty good basketball school. Dookie, you got Dukes at 7, which kind of surprises me because all the hype around my boy Cooper Flagg. I'm looking forward to watching him play. Hopefully I'm able to catch a few tickets to go see him play at the University of Miami when they're down here. That's playing whenever Duke plays Miami. I got to look at the schedule and see when that is or if they're even playing here. But I would like to see Cooper Flagg play. He's going to be an absolute stud in the college basketball world this year from what I've seen. Baylor at 8. You got UNC, the Tar Heels at 9, and the Wildcats of Arizona at 10. So those are your top 10 in the college basketball. Like I said, right now I'm not super educated on who is going to be good. I know these are preseason rankings, so I guess even the professionals are kind of unaware of what's going on too. So looking forward to what this college basketball season has. I love March Madness. I love that every year there's always that one team, whether it's like St. Peter's or who else was it? Florida Gulf Coast was a fun one to watch in the NCAA tournament. FIU, or no, was it not FIU? FAU made it to the Final Four with Miami. That was fun to watch. So looking forward to seeing what March has to bring for us for college basketball. We've got a long year, a couple months ahead of us of some of the best time in sports. You've got NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL. Baseball just ended, so this is one of the better times of the year. Of course, the holidays are coming around too, Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas and all the other holidays coming up. We do got a little NBA news, not too much. It's kind of a scary little news. Our leading wins leader in NBA coaching history, Greg Popovich, was hospitalized before Saturday's game. They're unaware of what it is. I just want to give him a shout out and hope for the best for him. He is like one of the faces of the NBA for the past, however 30 years he's been coaching with the Spurs or whatever, however long he's been doing it. He's been one of the best things to happen to the NBA, one of the best faces for the Spurs. Won all the championships with like the Tony Parker, the Tim Duncans, and the Ginobili, and it's just a coach the United States, and just hoping the best for him. So keep him in your prayers, and hopefully he can come back and reunite with the Spurs and on the court here soon. So yeah, with that's this little basketball news. We do have the parlays of the week, of course. So finally, I got one parlay sent to me. Of course, it was someone dear close to me, my brother Joe, but, he sent me a 5-game parlay. Like I said, I'm going to announce a parlay for it. If his parlay hits, I'm going to send him a shirt with MEB Pod or hat with MEB Pod on it, whatever he, wants, of course, if it hits. You can choose other sports like hockey, basketball, football, baseball, ping pong, whatever you want to choose from. Joe decided to choose 5 football games for next Sunday. He did choose Chiefs over Broncos, Vikings over Bears, Jets over Cardinals, Lions over Texans. Chiefs over Broncos, Vikings over Jags, Patriots over Bears, Jets over Cardinals, and Lions over Texans. If those hit, I will be happy to send Joe a t-shirt with Meb Pod and the logo, or a hat, whatever his liking is. And of course, we'll be inviting him to next week's podcast to give me another parlay. If it doesn't hit, I want to give other people options or opportunities to win some merchandise as well. So if this parlay does not hit, well, of course, send me parlays anyway so I can pick one. If it doesn't hit, I'll pick one of your parlays and you can get a chance to win some merch. Again, I picked a little bit of a parlay for myself as well. I did some hockey for tomorrow night. I chose a 5-game parlay. Was a little biased. I picked the Blues over the Lightning. That'll be a tough one. Wild over Kings. I picked the Islanders over the Penguins. That one's for you, Frankie Borelli. Avalanche over the Kraken. That's for my basket boys. And the Ducks over the Canucks. So like I said, you can use any sport: ping pong, baseball, hockey, football, boxing, UFC, anything you want. You just send it to MEB Golf on Instagram, or Matthew__Brennan on Instagram as well. And I will be happy to throw your name out on the podcast and give you a chance to win some merch. So tune in to shoot me some direct messages. Tune into the following week, and that could be your name being announced on the podcast. So there's my picks for the parlay. Hopefully one of us can at least hit, and we'll win us some either money and merch or whatever we got to do. So with that being said, that's the parlay gig. I'm going to talk a little bit about Foreplay, my boys over at Foreplay podcast and on Barstool, and the Good Golf guys linked up together and collabed at PGA National up in West Palm Beach on Sunday for like $10,000 charity event. Really nice. Sam Riggs and Garrett Clark were captains of each team. It was a 4-man scramble. Team Riggs' team ended up pulling through in the end. It was at the Bear Trap at West Palm Beach, or Palm Beach, where the Honda Classic is hosted. Like I said, Team Riggs ended up pulling up over the win. With some great golf from the 4 guys. It was Riggs, one of the good guys, I can't think of his name right now, but my boy Francis, and then Frankie Borelli on one team. The other team was 3 good guys, and of course Trent Ryan from the Barstool team. But Riggs' team did pull through. Borelli, I don't know what happened to you, my boy Frankie. You learned how to putt finally. You were sinking 30-footers. Then finishing it off as Mr. Irrelevant in the drafts, making the Barstool look good. I love to see it. Keep up the good work. I love that cocky attitude you pull through sometimes. I love when you get together with Trent and Jersey Jerry, and all you have to bring to those guys, and the confidence you try to build with those guys. Keep up the good work. The whole event seemed like a lot of fun. The back and forth between the 2 teams. The charity, the 2 charities they raised money for, was just a good overall event. I did want to attend to the event, but it was Sunday. Unfortunately, I was stuck at work. I wanted to make it up there, meet the guys, talk to them, a little golf with them, little tracks, try to get to know them a little bit. But unfortunately, I was stuck at work. Maybe next time. Barstool guys, good guys. If you're ever down in Miami, hit me up, and I'd like to, get you out there and play one day. Trent Ryan, man, I don't know. You've got to be the most lovable guy in the world. I know you're not. You're not the best golfer, but it is wonderful to see you trying to break 85 now. Continue to keep up the good work. And Jersey Jerry, if you want, I'd like to link up and play with you one day. Seemed like a lot of fun. Your trip as well. We're gonna get you to break that 100 eventually. Keep your head on the ball. And keep pumping those irons. You're doing well. Keep up the good work. So that's kind of my little Foreplay good golf tournament or four-man scramble take. It was a lot of fun, to watch. It was a live event, that's why I wanted to go, but no one wanted to work for me and I couldn't get off. So, responsibilities come first. I'm sure, like I said a couple months ago, I would have taken full advantage of that. And I would have called off of work, but that's not me anymore. I commit to something, I'm going to do it, and that's how I'm going to live life now, which is probably for the better, to be honest. But one of these days I'm going to try to make it up to PGA National and get around over there too. I know obviously I've already marked off Florida as one of my courses, but like I said, I like to check out new courses and, try to make more content. So again, if there's anyone in the South Florida area listening, West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, or even wherever you're from, if you want to fly down here, we'll go up there and play, or whatever you want to do, this podcast is open to anybody who wants to, kind of just have fun with this. These guys over at Barstool on the Foreplay Pod, they're what they're doing, especially with Jersey Jerry. Jersey Jerry is not the best golfer in the world, and neither am I. But the fact that Jersey Jerry will get out there and play, and you see the frustration in him, but he still looks at the positive side of things, and it's always nice to see someone like that. And even Frankie Borelli, it's funny when him and Jersey Jerry link up to play, because Jersey Jerry's got this attitude that says he'll get out there, he'll hit a ball real bad in the water or whatever it might be, and Jersey Jerry will say, "Hey, Frankie, I know why you invite me to play with you." And Frankie will say, "Well, why?" He says, "Because you just come out here to make yourself look better." Because, like I said, Frankie's a very cocky SOB. He knows he's better than Jerry. He knows he's better than Trent. He knows he's better than Riggs. But because he's got, some golf lessons, he actually has played, his whole life. He's, he's an athlete, Frankie is. But yeah, it's that cockiness, but at the end of the day, they all love each other, and they get together and they link up and play. And like I said, the main reason I listen to their podcast is because they are so different. They're all different people, but they all love the game of golf, and they love what they have to offer. And I love what they all have to offer to the game of golf, because they're all different style players. Obviously Frankie's a lefty, and he does this thing, and it's such a smooth swing, and Trent Ryan's got this teddy bear. I watched the episode where they played. It was Trent Ryan, Riggs, Borelli, and I forget who the other one was right now. I'm drawing a blank. Was it Big Cat? No, I don't know. Anyways, they're playing a 4-man versus Max Homa in a scramble. And, obviously Max Homa's a professional golfer, one of the best in the world. I think 7th in the world or something right now. They ended up having to put a ball from 20 feet off the green, and Trent Ryan gets up there, the big teddy bear that he is, gets up there and I love when he gets down to measure, he sees the slopes and looks at it like he's going to hit the putt, and every single time, doesn't matter how far the putt is, it's 2 feet or 20 feet, or gets down there and looks at it, ends up sinking it like he meant to do it. Obviously, you mean to hit the ball in the hole every shot, but in golf, it's a very humbling game. The likeliness of you doing that is pretty slim to none sometimes. But he ends up hitting it, and he goes crazy. Celebrates with Borelli and Riggs, and all of a sudden he didn't even know, but his parents, Trent Ryan's parents, come up behind him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, Dad!" And it obviously hit the putt, and he was real excited, gave them hugs or whatever. And his first thought was it wasn't, "Hey, why are you here? Or what are you doing? Da da da." It was, "Hey, let me get you a cart. You don't need to walk this whole thing." That was his first thought, was because his dad was so, to walk 18 holes, that's a lot of walking, but he said, "Let me get you a cart so you don't have to be walking 18 to follow me and watch me play this little stupid golf thing that our social media is doing," or whatever. It was really neat to see him. And then, of course, they panned the camera out to Max Homa, and Max Homa was had this big, I don't know, I don't want to say he was crying, but he was definitely getting a little emotional. He's like, "That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen." It's like when you see the people coming back from the military, and surprising their parents. That's what it looked like, and I was like, oh, it's kind of funny because, but it was really neat to see that Frankie Borelli or Trent Ryan, hit the putt against Max Homa, one of the guys that's probably never have a chance to play in the PGA Tour, to one of the best in the world. To beat him on that hole, of course, was pretty cool and emotional. But But anyways, that's kind of my little podcast, my foreplay segment on here. Really neat episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on Foreplay and Good Good's YouTube channel. I've been following the Foreplay guys a lot lately, but we are going to move on just a little bit. We're going to talk just a little bit about my YouTube channel. Now, again, I am streaming all my YouTube stuff. Anything I do, I play on PlayStation 5. Like I said, PlayStation is now a little thing to get the craziness out of here. It is a thing to keep my mental state, my mental mind. It's not the healthiest sometimes, but it is it helps my mental health. Obviously going to the gym will help the physical and mental. Going for a run might help the physical and mental, but every now and then I like that late at night to get on the sticks and play some either zombies or some PGA 2K23, or I might tap into a little bit of the Star Wars game. That's a lot of fun, or whatever comes to, whatever I'm in the mood for. So I'm trying to get another angle or another audience out there to listen in on my podcast and follow me on my Instagrams to help me kind of move forward with this through streaming on YouTube. And I know Twitch has it, but I don't have an account yet with Twitch. Maybe eventually I'll stream it to Twitch because that is more focused on the gaming community. But hey, I got a YouTube account, so come in, follow me, watch me, comment on my on my gaming while I'm on there live shooting the zombies. I've had a lot of fun with that. I've played not a lot of it, but I've been able to beat one of the levels in the zombies, which is like the craziest thing. I know if you're played the game or knowledgeable about the game, you know what I'm talking about. When you get to like a level 50 or whatever, it starts getting a little wild. There's zombies and spiders and bugs and abominations and all this crazy stuff that happen, and you can't even move unless you get lucky enough to get a ray gun or something. But like I said, if there's any other listeners that want to hop in on the gameplay with me too, sure, hop in, let me know, send me a direct message, send me a text. We'll shoot some zombies together. It'll be fun to link up on that too. I'm trying to link up on golf, gaming, going to the gym. I've got some, all sorts of stuff, whatever you're interested. I'm trying to reach out to everyone and anyone. So anyone wants to do something or is feeling lonely, it wants to go to the beach or play video games or play golf, or obviously if it's something that I don't like to do or I'm not into, I'm happy to help you. We'll find something that we are both mutual interest in. But right now I'm all about the gaming, the gym. I'm gonna get back at the gym, that's my fault. But the gaming, the golf, and the social media content stuff, like I said, I got big things coming in the next week or two with the social media stuff. I'm looking really forward to doing that. I can't stop thinking about it. It's like I'm losing sleep over it. With that being said, I did have some Flanagans tonight for all you South Florida people. You all know what I'm talking about. So I hit the rib rolls. I can't go there without ordering some rib rolls. I got some half a rack of ribs, some curly fries, some chicken wings, and a Caesar salad. Tore that up. So rib rolls was just the best. I wish they had rib rolls everywhere. I don't know what they do to them or why they're so good, but they're not the healthiest. It's essentially a fried rib meat, and you dip it in some ranch or whatever you want to dip it in. But yeah, for all you South Floridians, I know you know what I'm talking about. For anyone coming to South Florida, you got to hit up Flanny's. Flanny's, it's a staple here in South Florida. Haven't been in a while, so I was in the mood, and I was like, let me go pick up some food for Monday Night Football and pre-broadcasting the YouTube and podcast episode. So that's my hit on the little Flanagan thing. I was just thinking about that. We do got KAMALA versus Trump tomorrow, or tonight, and when the podcast airs. I am looking forward to seeing the outcome of it. I don't necessarily care. I do, but I don't. Who wins? I know whether it's Trump or Kamala, the next day, whoever wins, I'm going to end up having to go to work. I'm going to end up continuing to do my journey to play a round of 50 or a round of golf in all 50 states. I'm going to continue to try to work out and exercise and better myself each and every day. I'm going to continue being the best version of myself. So, like I said, I'm not educated enough to argue I don't think anyone, I'm going to be honest, I don't think anyone's educated enough to argue with anybody about that stuff, because the stupidity that comes out of people's mouths when they argue about this stuff is ridiculous, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to change anything. Now, I know that's me kind of arguing the whole politics thing, but to get so heated over it is not worth arguing. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Because my point of view is not going to change. If I'm voting for Trump and so is voting for Kamala, if I keep pointing out all this stuff that pro-Trump, it's not going to change somebody's mind how they feel about the guy. Or if I'm pro-Kamala, it's not going to change the Trump voters. Oh, maybe I should vote for Kamala because she has a different view on this. She has a better view on this the border patrol. So, but the people that continue to argue it, to me, are just complete stupidity, because it's like, why and people get passionate and heated about it. I get it. If you like something, I'm a diehard Cardinal fan. I love the Cardinals. But I'm not going to say that the Cardinals are better than the Yankees right now. I'm not going to sit there and argue that. Even if I think, or here, for example, the Dodgers just won the World Series. If I'm a diehard Dodgers fan, I'm not going to sit there and talk all trash on the Yankees, because, there's no point. There's no need to. It's no need to argue and make people's lives feel worse, or, haha, your Yankees suck. They lost to us in the World Series, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what is the point of making someone feel down about themselves and getting people's feelings hurt? It's like, people just don't care about each other. Everyone, and that's one of my big issues about this world today. Is everyone kind of is on work, everyone's playing a man for themselves. It's like everyone only cares about themselves. And like I said, I'm kind of already getting fired up about this whole thing right now, just because it bothers me so much. So I'm just gonna kind of end up the Kamala Trump thing about that. I am looking forward to seeing who wins. It is always exciting. It's fun, whatever. Now, to change the subject, I don't want to talk about it really much because it is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. But with that being said, that's kind of what I've got for this episode. Like I said, I'm doing this no fear. I'm going to keep moving forward with this whole thing. I like what I'm doing. I don't exactly know what I'm saying half the time, but I enjoy it. I want to keep doing this. I want to move forward with it. I'm gonna, like I said, the secret to getting ahead, or like Mark Twain said, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. I've gotten it started. So I've got a lot of good things in the future coming to my podcast, my social media world. Obviously, tune in to all my games, my live streams on YouTube. Tune in to obviously some your parlays by next Sunday. If Joe's parlay does not hit, I will choose a random selection on the viewers. If it does hit, I'm going to keep Joe as my parlay guy till it hits. If I do have a guest on, for example, next week, I potentially might have a guest, and they use his or her parlay pick, just because they are the guest of honor, and I want to get them more involved in the back and forth. So hopefully next week we do have a back and forth between me and someone else, and it might focus more a little bit about other topic, just because of their interest or their title or position or career path or whatever it might be. So tune into next week's episode. It'll be, again, of course, Tuesday night it'll be aired. So this episode is going to come to a conclusion. No fear, and just keep grinding. This is the grind. It's tough, but keep moving. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and go Chiefs.